could be much sweeter if we just get one more try. Life could be much sweeter. From the country, we analyze just what was the problem. Yes, we start.
Yes, indeed, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, South, South, Central, in Trinidad, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming on the world, right, we have a pleasant good day to you. Yes, this is the Thursday edition, and therefore the final day for the week that I will be on, of course. And my friend likes to say, when I say sabbatical, he has a problem with it. So I will have to use the lengthy version of it, and my sabbatical, yes. Tomorrow, of course. So no program tomorrow, don't forget that. Tomorrow night. But of course, we will be on the ground report in the morning, which will also be the last day of the week for the ground report until, of course, Monday. I will be talking with all of those persons who I would wish to assist me on the corridor with respect to weekends program and so on, because I don't want to have that task. I wouldn't say a burden, but that task, because it's joyous for me, but I simply see myself as one person. And as my father would say, walk no dead is man that's dead. Yeah, man that's dead. And of course, they also say that all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Not that I feel that I'm dull, but they also say all play and no work make Jack a mere toy. And so in that regard, I think, of course, I have deserved and earned the responsibility or the deserving benefit of a little holiday. All right, so let's go back to Stalin, of course, because tonight's team is, of course, we can make it if we try, but we have a special guest who will be behind the camera tonight, but on the mic, and of course expressing a very deep concern, reflecting the views of the population or the residents in East Port of Spain generally, but more specifically George Street, Nelson Street, and environs. So look forward to that, because it is part of the series that I have been pursuing to show that the people have the capacity. We have done it. We have given the country its national culture, steel band, calypso, yes, and mass, carnival. And why it is we cannot solve our own crime and delinquency and economic problem and job deficiency problem. Why? Because we weren't given, one, the opportunity, we are not trusted to do that, and two, the PNM was in office for too damn long. Too damn long. But of course, let's hear Stalin as we look for motivation and inspiration at this time.
Anytime that we hear Trinbago is facing a crisis, as loyal citizens it's our duty to stay and assist. For we know to ourselves there could never become a day we're not deaf to this country.
Pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and
so who want to focus, go, I have no objection. But while outside I want
2026 to highlight and issue a problem that is gravely affecting the residents and the community of George Street, Port of Spain. Across the road there we have the health center, and I will just take you all on a little tour of the community center.
Yes, indeed, but this is a gentleman that has expressed a deep concern, consequential of his love for the general community.
At the entrance, we have these words here. Now, this is the entrance to the community center. There is a program being run here. As you could see, Relief to the Mind, Body and Soul project. And they have this side of the community center where they cook, they prepare all the foods and everything. And supposedly, the residents will use this side of the community center where we will cook, have our stove, our fridge, all the appliances. And the reason why I say that is because the people who run in this program here, we have issues with them in the sense of who is really in charge of this community center. When we ask to use the center, we are being met with stiff opposition. And you have to pay to use the community center. For instance, for my birthday, I will pay them $100 to use this side of the community center, although they still want me go wrong in the back, which is deplorable. So you pay them the $100, you don't know who this money going to. And when we come to use it, there is no electricity, one socket working, one light working. It was never so. It was never so. Now, our MP is the Honorable Mr. Keith Scotland. And where this issue is, he has failed miserably, in my opinion, to resolve it. We have a community center here that is just dormant, not in usage. And it takes a great toll on us. This is the back of the community center. Now at this portion here, it was a preschool for mothers in the community with their kids, and everything was functioning properly. Well, now, the reason why I say that, in 2010, when the People's Partnership won the general election, the coalition government, the Prime Minister, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, SC, told her ministers to go out and serve the people, serve the people. Lo and behold, we had Mr. Winston Dukaran, we had Mr. Austin Jack Warner, and last but not least, Mr. John Sandy, Minister of National Security, paid us a visit, came to the community center and saw how deplorable it was. And they said they couldn't believe this is our community center. And they took the initiative, and we had some refurbishment, some renovation, critical renovation was done to the community center. So the People's Partnership lose, next party come into power, and things going back the way how it was. We're not looking for no war or casting aspersions on anybody. I myself, it is very tough, very difficult. We are just asking the powers that be, because through Mr. Lennox Smith, our shadow MP, a man who really stands up for the community, we don't have a platform, we don't have a voice. We are just asking for them to come out and assist us with the situation. We have Mother's Day coming up here. I saw Mr. Alexander at the St. Peter's home with the elderly, giving back to the community, which was a P&M stronghold. And now we have our community. So what stops us or prevents us from having these initiatives for the elderly people? I mean, Mother's Day is just Sunday here. And I say, God bless that man's soul, Mr. Lennox Smith, because we have the relief center down there where he puts in free Wi-Fi, classes for the young, the old. This man puts out a lot. This man is unbelievable. He goes the extra mile. I have seen that pattern since the UNC is back in power, the coalition. And I'm asking for some help. I'm asking for the Prime Minister or the Minister of Community Development to intervene. We have kids here. We have young people, very talented. What is the meaning of a community center? It's for the community. It's not just for no one program.
I want to pause there, of course, because we have the man himself who prefers to be behind the camera, so to speak. But I think he spoke to some powerful issues that I have been advocating for from time immemorial. The physical, the abstract, or the cognitive or intellectual, in other words, capacity building, the creation, of course, of opportunities for employment through the provision of skills and educational opportunities in general. And here it is, of course, a gentleman from the community, took it upon himself, used his own resource in order to highlight this particular issue with the George Street Community Center. Pleasant good night to you, sir. I'm not going to call any names. Let me hear you.
Pleasant good night.
Good. And tell me, well, I hear my... Yeah, it's working. I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
A pleasant good night.
Yeah, it's working.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Pleasant good night to you, Mr. Lennox Smith, to your viewers and listeners.
Good. Same to you, my friend. But we have to get down to brass tacks here. Because I hear my name called and all of that. And I really appreciate it because, you know, the Bible says that a prophet in his homeland is not treated in the way that he ought to. So I'm glad that there is some acknowledgement. But what I'm concerned with here, just as how I was concerned with respect to that lingering for over 10 years sewer issue on the Nelson Street side. The issue you're concerned with now or highlighting is on the George Street side, but certainly not too far from each other. So, and that's the point I was making, that a fly could have landed on that sewer material, and because the breeze, the wind moves from east to west, it could, that fly could have been aided with that breeze and ended up on the soup or the meals that people would partake in on a daily basis at the community center, because they are right in line. They are right in line with each other. So a breeze come, and of course there's no need for breeze because the flies have wings and they could fly all the way there. And as far as the fly is concerned, whether it is sewer material or is nice, well-cooked soup, rice, bhaji, etc., they don't mind. They make no distinction and land there. And of course, people can get at minimum dysentery, which of course is a disease of the bowels that of course make you go off involuntarily. But that being as it may, I want to ask the gentleman. He's here in studio with us. Ah boy, you see, like you attract callers already. Let me make sure that we are in place. Let me make sure that everything is in place for these calls, because I suspect tonight will be a bumper night. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Yes, sir, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Right, good, beautiful.
My brother calling.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir, to my honorable brother, my honorable doctor. Good night, sir.
Good night.
I know I haven't called you for a long while.
All right.
But I've been listening.
Great.
Right, I have been listening. I just listening to, but here I've been. I have been out for a while, seeing about my personal business and thing. Right, and my daughter is going to, my second daughter, the one that you know, is going to be married on Saturday.
Oh, I see.
Right,
okay,
and so I just let you know, right. So here I've been, my brother.
Thank you
I'm
very
just
much.
letting you know that here I've been. I'm still listening because we know the PNM would nothing in the country.
Yes.
Penny, George Young, none of them. They don't know what's going on in the country right now.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So my brother, thank you very much. I just letting you know what is happening, so I'll call you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, do that. Thank you very much, of course, and thanks for testing. As the first caller, the system is working perfect. So people, no excuse tonight. Okay, so what has brought you to this position where you feel that you must talk out at this point in time. You have indicated a certain clearly issues that is lesson in experience, because clearly you said that under one administration there was a upgrading, and under a subsequent administration there has been a deterioration or running down of the facility. But I want to hear from you tonight, because I'm sure people out there want to hear from you because of where we are located in East Port of Spain.
Well, sir, as you rightfully stated, there is a disconnect, and we have to fix it. We have to get involved, all hands on deck. And the reason why I say that, referring to the utterances earlier on,
Yeah.
one government will come into power and take the initiative. Ms. Prasad Bissessa, as I said in 2010, told her ministers, go out and meet the people, greet the people who put you all there, serve the people, serve the people. And I would like Mr. Prakash Ramada, a pleasant good night to you, to tear a page out of Mr. Winston Dukaran book. And I will come back to that.
All right.
So we had the pleasure of Mr. Warner, Mr. Dukaran, and I must make a correction. The former Minister of National Security, Mr. John Sandy, paid us a visit, and out of that, there was a young lady born by the name of Keisha Armstrong, who won the local government elections for the COP.
COP ticket, okay.
COP
at that
ticket.
time, yes. Okay.
And the community center, when they saw what we had to encounter and deal with, they were so appalled of it, and they took it upon themselves, and they gave the building some restoration. They renovated, they fixed it.
Yeah, I remember that very distinctly because I was intrinsically involved in that whole process
Now,
at that time. Yes.
Now this program that is being run at George Street Community Center, we have no problem with it, you know. We have no problem with it, you know. This is a program that feeds the homeless. And at the end of the day, we are all God's children, and they do a wonderful job. The person who was in charge, Miss Elder, as I say, may her soul rest in peace, to the person who is there now, I've never met him. And just for some transparency and accountability, these people must be accounted. We need our community center to function the way our other community centers functions. For instance, Mango Rose, St. Paul Street, etc. You know, we have no say. So this platform here on the corridor, it inspired me to do the video and to show what we deal with on a daily basis. How are we to deal with these youths?
Wonderful. Only last night I was making that point that if these various institutions and facilitations did not exist, people will go away with the notion that not only must other parts of the country not come or see these areas as castaway and plagues, but when programs like these are aired to the same recipients, the same people who are forming some kind of opinion about the area, they have to change their minds, or they have to adjust their perception of the area, simply because things like this they didn't expect to be nestled here. And of course, in some instances, as I said, with respect to Steel Pan, Chief Justice Clinton Bernard, who was born just on the Duncan Street, not too far from here, all of that, they would have to know to adjust their perception of the area. And the authorities, those who control the purse strings, must now make an adjustment as well, and do not fall prey to the notion that these people don't want anything, they will amount to nothing, and therefore leave them in their quagmire, misery, and mayhem. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it's important for people to know that people like you exist in these communities, and if it wasn't for people like you, the situation could have been worse from their perspective, from a national perspective, and whatever perspective that the society is concerned about, including crime, gang warfare, etc. So I'm glad that you are able to come here and put your, what I consider to be your issues to the population, and I'm sure that internally the community that would benefit from this kind of exposure will certainly commend you for that kind of approach. Go ahead.
So we are always caught between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
Ms. Prasad Bissessa saw it fit, SC, and her ministers came out, saw the situation, and they gave us some relief. They lost the elections, the other party came into power, and it's willful neglect. Willful neglect. In this community here, we are stigmatized. Yes, we have our issues. We have a lot of good people here too, good people. We have children going convent and colleges and things too. I mean, I watched the Honorable Minister of Homeland Security in St. Peter's.
Talking to Mike because...
home for the elderly.
Yeah.
I saw the Minister of Homeland Security at St. Peter's Home for the Elderly, and I must say hats off to you, sir. You did a tremendous job, giving back, leading by example. The way all those elderly people commended you, you understand? In a constituency what was a PNM stronghold. We have that same love down here, you know. Our community vibrant, you know. But this issue with the community center must be resolved. Take, for instance, the preschools. Mr. Alexander spoke about single parents, some issues with single parents. Mr. Alexander, we see it out here every day. Right now, we have single mothers who boyfriend, husband, lock up for this, lock up for that. That's another issue. And we have to toe the line. We have young mothers, young ladies here making children, and the father dead within 2 months, and that lady have to carry that child and bring that child into the world. And we have grandparents taking care of these young babies. So anyway we could assist, the CPEP, the URP is no more. I see the pain and the anguish in people's face like a pot waiting to explode. You know, we have the community center there where we could house some of these youths. Let's get back the preschool. So, and that's why I make the reference being between a rock and a hard place, because Ms. Prasad Bissessa, when he was in power in 2010, the Children's Hospital, for instance, I just draw an example. You came out of power and that just stand up there. That is our taxpayers' money. That just stand up there. White is, you know, so that we leave that pulling and tugging for another day. But we ask Ms. Prasad Bissessa for the Minister of Community Development to come out. Mr. Lennox Smith, I choose this platform to vent my frustration and my disgust with what I see taking place. You know?
People, I want to tell you, of course, that he is behind the mic or behind the cameras. He chooses to do so. But it is very rare that you have such articulation and such articulated persons, articulate persons. You are hearing him, and I'm sure you are drawing your own impression as to the impact he would have on your mind and your psyche, and of course your sense of analysis. But let's hear a little more of what he delivered to me this evening for airing on the corridor tonight, because he went and do his own filming, so that he has proof as to the problems that he is focusing upon, or put another way, these problems that would have been derived from an issue that is of concern to the general community.
Miss Elder did a wonderful job. May her soul rest in peace. That lady, she did a wonderful job. The people who run in here, we don't even know who they are. There's people from outside coming inside here to run this community center, which is wrong. We have capable, competent people to deal with that under the guidance of Mr. Lennox Smith. Now, again, it's not no name calling or casting aspersions on anybody, but we need the situation to be resolved. We target the youths. We target the youths from an early age in social programs. We get sponsors. We look the fridge we had here going through the stove. What it is really going on? We're not asking the government for $1 million or to build one, just assistance so we could enjoy our community center. Again, every holiday we teach the youths the significance of the holidays. If there is a death in the community, we have the kitchen, we could cook for the bereaved family, we could offer some sort of support. I saw the Minister of Homeland Security, while being interviewed at the St. Peter's Home, speak about single parents. And I wouldn't say I fully agree with him, because we see it out here on a daily basis. Since this government in power and all the programs, CPEP, URP cut off, these young mothers have it real tough. Real tough. Boyfriend, husband, lock up, suspected this, suspected that. And the show still goes on with them. So, to the powers that be, please come and assist us with our community center.
Let's pause there. You asked for the intervention of the Minister of Community Development. Assuming, hypothetically, that you would have gotten that opportunity to meet with her and to have her, better yet, visit the area to see the issue about which you are concerned and the general community. Tell me what you expect.
So, well, that is one of the reasons why I chose this platform, to air this concern, whether it be the Minister of Community Development, a technical team. If we could all have a sit down for a neutral way forward for the benefits of the youths and the community, that would be highly appreciated. I don't have no time to write a letter or embrace or greet the Honorable Minister. I choose this platform, the corridor of transformation. So in doing the video today, I say I would clear up some issues, one or two issues. And when I made mention of the kitchen that the program is under, the people running it, we don't know them. We have capable and competent people that could run this community center. Who is this money going to? Where is the transparency and accountability?
So all those are things that you want to discuss with the Honorable Minister if you get the opportunity.
How could the People's Partnership fix this community center and they lose, the next party come in power? If you see how deplorable, all our appliances, stoves. I mean, I have no money to take out my pocket to buy a stove or a fridge, but through self-help and cake sales and fundraising, little car wash, we could accomplish these things. You creep before you walk, you know?
So you're saying that it is a misnomer, it is a falsity, it is a fake, a falsehood, that the community is not willing to put its money where its mouth is, or where there's a need for improvement. The community is prepared to come together in order to make it happen. That's what you're saying.
To give back.
Yeah.
I am in my 50s.
Okay.
And I know we experience childhood. Every child grew up through a community center. Part of your childhood, your upcoming, your bringing was through a community center. You would meet Auntie Jane, Sister Paul, all these good people who would speak to you, And our community is
fragmented because that coming together common community facility is not functioning as it ought to, and therefore it's creating all kinds of social issues.
The elderly who have paid the debt to society, as the Honorable Minister rightfully said.
Yes.
What about our elderly here? We could do the same thing at the community center and show them some love and appreciation. The same pedicures. You know, well, so I say you're doing the nail polish thing, but be it as it may. You know, the single parents, we just asking for a little help. The last administration paid no attention to us. And by the way, the Honorable Keith Scotland, the MP, our MP, I have a great deal of respect for you as a human being, a gentleman, a prominent attorney. But in my opinion, when it comes to running George Street, our area, you have failed miserably. You have failed.
And are there specific areas that that you can identify or share with us to reinforce what you have just characterized the parliamentary representative Scotland as a failure?
Mr. Smith, for 9 years, we had to endure. From the word go, you saw what took place in Parliament.
Yes.
What we were to return to and to do this and that.
Or return to.
I will leave it as because I don't want to get into that tick for tack. And this.
But it is about bicycle, breadfruit, and coal pot. I mentioned it last night, so I think I could mention it now without fear of contradiction. Because that's what was said. He's a lawyer, he can't change it now. Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night. Lower the volume on your device.
Hello, good night, Mr. Lennox.
Good night. Yes, man.
Your course today who to show your face there thing in it.
Yes.
Lennox, either man like to be real.
Go ahead.
Either man grew up in East West Corridor. He said Keith Scotland was a great MP.
No, he says a great lawyer, but a bad MP.
A great lawyer.
Yeah.
But he's saying he don't do nothing for the problem in Duncan Street, Nelson Street, and all them places and them there. Because the soup kitchen you're talking about it, right?
Yeah, that's right, the soup kitchen, The center that...
So, for the 9 years, when community center, right? So them in come out and lobby and come out and talk and tell Heinz what they want and what they need. The same venom they have for this government now. All them are silent. That's why I feel either freedom fighter, either man talking UNC, PNM, anybody that I see unjust and thing in there. All have to come out and do more for the community because the end of the day, all still going back and vote back Heinz and them to suffer the community, Duncan Street and Nelson Street. Look lower down Duncan Street, Lennox. It was a problem they're going on for years. The whole place, Duncan Street, there's a set of bush, garbage all over the place, all by going by Keith Scotland office and them. But all that voted as a non-performance and Keith Scotland is the worst MP. And then for that still go back and get Scotland that city. My plan in East West Corridor, all have to wake up. Politics is about, it's not for you are old guy. The politics is about for your children to come, you know. All only like the UNC and only supporting UNC in the corridor. Look, Lennox Smith is that man, they set up a party, a love party. If they rocket the flight to the moon, Duncan, and all them areas, they will get better, proper representation. But all the Lennox Smith are try. All continue voting Heinz and them and see what's going on, man. Bless.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you. Thank you very much because Frank talk. Go ahead, you were making a point.
Well, Mr. KFC, with all due respect, sir, we would never like to resort to any burning of tires. I believe we passed that stage. We just are simply asking for a peaceful discourse with the powers that be to try and rectify this situation here. The community needs the community center. We need our community center. If we have a holiday, we have to cook. We have some brilliant young people with good ideas that bring the community together. Right now, as I speak, we have a death in the community. And my deepest condolences goes out to the family. And the community center could do a lot of things. You can keep a little. What is a community center about? All your Trinidad and Tobago, all your community centers functioning, and we don't have. We have to take care of youth, single parents. One hand don't clap. Mr. Smith is always there for us. Look at the little initiatives, Mr. Lennox Smith, on a daily basis. Everybody comes to see him. He listens to everybody. He can't do this and that for everybody. He will take his last out of his pocket. Just recently, his son wrote the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and she came to his school and represent. That young man impressed me so much. He wrote the president and invited her to his school. I've never seen that around here since I'm living around here. I'm a resident around here. A community center is not a privilege, you know. It's a right. It's a right.
Whilst we were talking, you did say that you have a major plan for the young people in the area of education. Spell B, I think you were talking about. Tell us a little more about that.
Mr. Smith, I had taken you up on a task for a program that would assist the youths, improve certain educational aspects of
the spelling skill that would lead to a number of things: the ability to write, the ability to retain words, the ability to speak properly, and all of that. Yeah, but,
corporate sponsors, ministers, all hands on deck, and we need the community center if we really start this program.
Right.
A community center is for all in the community to enjoy. It cannot be that this government fix it here and this next government ignore it. All the air condition. We have people voluntarily willing to come out, paint a wall. We have young men who did air condition courses will come where we could, get this assistance. Electricians. You take $100 from me. I have guests to come to enjoy my birthday celebrations. And when we push a plug, no current, one bulb, a kind of hostile environment, so we don't want that. And our MP has failed. He might have scored here and scored there, but when it comes to George Street, So let's...
So you have plans in general?
Lots of plans.
Yeah, let's go back to, of course, that clip to see if we could finish it. We just have about a minute again on it. So let's see a tape that he recorded the concerns that he would have been expressing tonight, one, and as a sort of a information gesture. And of course, playing it here tonight will give you a physical idea as to what he's talking about. So let's see it to its completion.
We cannot leave from George Street, Port of Spain, to go in no community to run nobody community center. Not at all. So why when it's one government, they see about the place, and when it's our next government, they just leave it dormant. The People's Partnership, Jack Austin Warner will be so appalled to see what the community center has been reduced to. All the air condition, everything just shut down. And we are just left stranded. So, again, Trinidad and Tobago, the powers that be, the Minister of Community Development, come and sit with us. We have the Resources Center by Mr. Lennox Smith. That man will give his last to people. I have been by the office, and we target the youth, and the amount of people will come to Mr. Smith. He will take his last out of his pocket and give. We have so much plans for the youths out here. It's not one hand clap, it's all hands on deck. You talk about the youths being led astray, and our community is one where we have issues, But the bigger picture is the community center to help these youths. These programs, we can't carry them nowhere on a little bus drive, a little excursion. So, again, I wouldn't disclose my name, but I'm just a concerned citizen. Sometimes they call me the voice. To all the mothers, happy Mother's Day.
Let's pause and go for that call. Let's pause for a cause. Go to that call. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Very interesting discussion tonight. Go ahead.
Good night to you, Lennox Smith.
Good night
And
to
good
you,
night
my
to
good
you.
friend. Yes, potential.
And good night to your guests over there.
Yes.
Good night to you, brother. And good night to the listeners and viewers of the Corridor Transformation. All the chat members and them, all they looking good. Share the live, share it for your friends and family, and tell them the real UNC program is live, called the Corridor Transformation, from 8 o'clock to, well, I see it going until 20 past 10 last night. I see nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with that.
I wasn't even taking note because I didn't feel it, and I got up normal as this morning. So maybe I might have to do some more of that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's when the conversation nice and the topic hot.
Yeah, that's
you understand?
That's yes.
And you're expressing yourself with authority and respect. Human beings should respect that. But I share the view of your guests over there.
Yeah.
Every community need a community center. And they should have the community center in operation. If what he asking for is to ensure that the community center fixed and operational, so that the future of that community, the young boys and the young girls, the little nieces and little nephews, could have a place which part they could go and have a learning center. Single mothers could go and learn something. That's what community center is about. So I will share his view and even ask the authorities and them to show interest, show importance. And it's something we call representation. And represent. But the problem I have sometimes with these communities and them, they need to come out and stand up and say, no, we want this Zoso bill in these areas and them. Because if they really look at the Zoso bill, they was only watching, oh, they're coming down and we black people and want to shoot we people and we police and them. But if they look at the Lennox Smith,
but the
social development part of that.
Social intervention part, yeah, and I've been focusing on that all the time. You don't want nothing better than that. All of my experience so far, I've not seen anything closer than that to insisting in law that the authorities make the intervention, whether it's education, or whether it be infrastructure, or whether it be job creation and training, and we can go on and on. That bill was supposed to be, in my view, the savior for communities such as this. And persons with their own agenda and not clearly thinking it out, they scuttled that opportunity. Go ahead.
And the community, the mothers and fathers and them that need that community center, they supposed to stand up. Just as how they say they want the community center now, they're supposed to say, we want the Zoso bill. We want accountability and with transparency. We want the social development part of that. Because that social development part of that would have been rehabilitating all those community centers, single mothers. That is that social and the community, because of the PNM support side of it. They take foolish advice from the MP in them areas and them and neglect the development of the Zoso bill. That was very, very sad. Look today with some of these killings that we see in Stuart Young constituency. Stuart Young asking for the Homeland Security Minister to go. Why should he ask for the Homeland Security Minister to go when the PNM control over there from 1956 to now? What the MPs and them doing and them, the mothers and fathers and the residents in them areas and them, they don't even show interest at what the MP responsibility is in these communities. Look, shooting gang leaders and them. None of them may come in and say, MP, you know this community and you know that community, and you know this community can't walk in that community and that community can't walk in that community. How it is all not fixing that? Is the MP supporting it? The residents in them in the area supporting it? And we finding one or two of them like Lennox Smith and this brother inside here standing up and fighting for the development of the community. It will not succeed when you only have the minority. It will succeed with the majority of the community. And that is how things just work. All those PNM activists and them, all those PNM activists and them for all the years, they were PNM activists. It has some of them being UNC activists now. People like Wall Street and all of them. Them support the PNM for 50 years. That is the road. That is the road of destruction that them leave behind. And playing kind-hearted now. And playing trustworthy and being patriot now. But they must turn around and look at the destruction that they leave behind. All them PNM activists and them for the 29 years I have been part of radio. That is the destruction they leave behind. And when they get things their way, when they get things their way, and they get a building, they say, see that? We mash up everything because of that. You walk out of the PNM and you come playing UNC now. You play in UNC now, but when in Trinidad and Tobago we had 129 school UNC was building. All them PNM activists and them, even Wall Street, vote against that. When a children's hospital was building, all them PNM activists and them vote against that, even Wall Street. Today, seeing all the loyal UNC activists and them that support the corridor transformation and the ground report, today not seeing them today over here. Today, seeing them by the 50-year-old PNM activists who play in UNC activists today. We must be accountable to ourselves. We must be accountable for our community. And we must be accountable for the future of our community. Being biased, you reach nowhere with that. And I will beg the mothers and fathers of these communities and them, do not listen to all the MPs and them. Ask for assistance from the United National Congress. Ask for assistance from the Honorable Prime Minister, and you all will get that assistance. Don't play PNM for 60 years, and when you get things your way, now we will come and jam the UNC. The UNC can't do anything in them areas and them over there unless they get the MP support. And if they get the MP support and the community support, you will see development. You will see development. Why it is people in the East-West Corridor, Lavantie area, Nelson Street, all them places, them, why you can't see development after 60 years of governance from the black leadership? But I support your agenda. Continue doing what you're doing with Lennox Smith over there. Ask for representation. Ask for assistance. The future of your community
Thank
will
you very
depend.
much, my brother.
They are
Thank you very much, my
dependent
brother. God bless. Thank you
on
very
your
much,
voice,
sir.
speaking on behalf of your community.
Thank you
brother.
very much,
Mr. Lennox Smith, thank you.
Thank you very much as well, my friend. Very outspoken, very forceful indeed. Solid motivation. Yes. Yeah, solid motivation.
Yes, top of the class, brother. To the top of the class.
I happened, and we didn't plan that. I happen to have a copy of the Zoso bill here. And the caller made reference where, of course, I myself have, from time immemorial and repeatedly, been, of course, saying, well, why it is that these people are so wicked to us? Why those senators at least did not see the merit, and put another way, the folly of their decision to not support this. I will read it for you because I want you to understand what we would have missed as a community, because for the first time the government was legally bound through this piece of legislation to fix our community. And that's all we are concerned with. It was Stalin who said, black man don't get nothing easy, and secondly, all he want, poor man want, is to put food on the table, and this would have been the beginning of that process by law. committing the government to so do. But I'll read it for you afterwards. Welcome to the corridor, caller.
A pleasant good night to you, Uncle Lennox, and your guests in studio,
Yes,
and
man.
all the listeners. Share the life in all this country. And everybody who listen tonight, or let's pass a drop of dollar now, boy. $100, there is a small change. Because in they take away all he said from the country as a drop of 1 cent. So, here we're going on now, Uncle Lennox.
Well,
And
at
I going to
least,
say it, you know.
at least some people would say at least we have penny.
Jesus Christ. Then I don't know which one was a senseless
but,
penny, yeah.
but that might be a fake coin because we don't produce pennies again.
No,
Go
but
ahead.
remember when the pennies was acknowledged in the time before my time,
Yeah.
and the dinosaur in this country, they never recognized the penny then, because when they go, I remember stories on the street corner that when they're talking, they say we go in the shop by Chin, shop and they're buying butter in the barrel. They never ask for a penny butter. They never asked for a penny in butter, you know, because you know why? It was too much. It was too much butter for a penny. So they never wanted penny. Anything you had to spend with a penny is plenty. Eh? And they never get value for your money. Because here what's going on. When they want smoke heaven, you had to come with 2 penny. That is 4 penny you had to come with. So let's imagine a Stuartian and a penny you had to go with. Eh? And still, you're getting a little piece of saltfish because the Chinese soak it in salt water. So this is what the PNM is all about. They soak everything in salt water and make it look good and give you a heavy weight, make you feel like getting plenty for less. So look at it tonight. I'm sorry, right? But I'm glad you bring up this Zozo bill. Just imagine a man called Stuart Young. That fella, like, he brain went for a vacation in Venezuela and he went back to get and like Delcy didn't give him it. Because just imagine, Stuart Young, you was there for 10 years representing them people and them. 10 years. And that is the economic prosperity again, because you create that style so that you can put fear in the right citizen heart to vote for the PNM. I asked you a question, is that what the machine we all was using? And today, Uncle Lennox had to go and give out the liver string to try to help the same set of people who fighting amongst themselves. And then you telling me the independent PNM and them say that a Zozo bill is not right, but yet still a senator, 2 senators could come out and misbehave in public office and Penny need more time. So just imagine, picture this, Penelope Beckers in some other incarnation is the Prime Minister of some other country. And wrongdoing is taking place, just like she leader, Keith Rowley. Judge and jury, no wrongdoing. They see no wrongdoing, everything is no wrongdoing. Now, man, when it will stop, and who's suffering? Who's suffering? And just imagine, these Zozo come to protect who? Is the citizens of the PNM constituency from their own self, you know? Because their own brother and sister and their neighbor doing this stupidness, disrupting life. For what? And Stuart Young, you sit down. You was Attorney General at once, I think. I wonder why. You was a National Security Minister. You had 2 swordfish one that I don't know, not even radio if it's fit for. And then the next one, they call Heinz, in them same area. Now, man, all come out now, boy, and take all the, bolt it to all the chest and all the keep it for yourself. All the asset are impolluter, because all the is polluting on other people's life. Or let's come and take it and do what I want. And when all of stuff fooling the African race by my purpose in life and to talk is to tell Africans save themselves from themselves. Because far too long, all the riding the back of them by trillions of dollars going down the drain. Now they bring a program that they will replace it with sustainable employment, sustainable benefits to help the vulnerable, bring them out of life of crime. Penny is plain to see always a criminal entity everything have come to fight crime in the parliament, all shut it down. And now all is criminality existing from the parliament. No man, Uncle Lennox, talk to them people and them now. If let me do a little puja and a little prayers, but I only hope this time around, when the local election come, that city corporation is a rocket, and Mark love is city corporation, because you know why? Tell them plain that it's time they take the yoke off the neck and try to see what the services start with the corporation through delivery. Because you know what employment they can still do on a temporary basis and rotate it. And help them create jobs and sustainable jobs so they could get things to be done in a right way. Uncle Lennox, every day of your life you're fighting for these people, and otherwise it's always start with the story of Moses. Is what they want. What they want, and yet still the seniors in these areas and them have to try and come up to the plate. Everybody's seeing the breakdown is employment. And yet still you're trying to get them employed and they're still making mischief. Soon as Penny and the PNM talk about criminality, right? And the UNC said they have it done, look what's going on. So it's only one sector and people, ethnic group is being targeted in home invasion. It is no other place in Trinidad and Tobago have invasion. So what it means to say? But then again, when the police do the work, you know what they say now in the new word? It's extrajudicial killing. But no, I give the commissioner of police, here what's going on. Anything point in your direction, ask first and then ask question. Because here what's going on. 3 seconds, it's over. Right? Do or die. Here what's going on. To be or not to be. That is the question. Let's go back to Shakespeare and Hamlet. I love you. Pleasant good night to each and every one. Let me share the love.
Same to you, my brother. Same to you.
Boy, you have evoked a lot of vibrancy, I want to say, for want of a better term. But I want to say, yes, I have a copy of the Zoso bill here. And I just want to read one paragraph that will encapsulate what we were saying and to some extent would render ocious or null and void and of no effect or unnecessary what my good friend here is referring to. You see, if this was implemented, the government was not just duty bound, but legally bound to fix that community center. There was no need, in other words, for him to come here and talk about what we'll be talking about. How much resources must be expended for the upgrading and the amount of programs that could be executed there in order to increase the capacity, or put another way, the ability for the community to interact in such a way that they can now become employable, that they can, of course, interact with each other and make it much more peaceable, and that some of the antagonism would have dissipated as a consequence of having a modern, upgraded community center. That is what we are talking about. Let me just read that paragraph for you. It's part 4. So if you want now, you could Google it and check part 5, part 5 of the actual name of the bill that was presented was the Law Reform Zone of Special Operations, Special Security and Community Development Measures Bill 2026. Community development measures. The independent senators didn't see that. They're independent, eh? They're supposed to bring some kind of sanity, some kind of objectivity, some kind of equilibrium. We understand the quagmire and the difficulty of the opposition, that they are going to oppose for opposing's sake, because they want to be in power, but of course gotten so much opportunity and scuttle it. but unmeritoriously they want to get into office, but they got the independent senators to defeat this bill. And listen to what Part 5 Social Transformation Committee. So there's a Social Transformation Committee that must be established. And listen to what it says. Clause 25(1) says, for the purposes of this act, the Prime Minister in council shall, within 5 working days of the declaration of a zone, 5 working days. So if East Port of Spain, Nelson Street, George Street, Duncan Street, the police say, well, listen, let's declare here a Zoso area. Well, in 5 days, 5 working days, 5 working days. So besides holidays, obviously, and weekends. 5 working days of the declaration of a zone, establish a committee to be named or to be styled as Social Transformation Committee. And it goes on to say who will be the members. Apart from the police, members like this man who is here today would have been a member of it. Why? Because the law would have recognized that they have what is called community knowledge. Nobody would have more knowledge than people who are living there. I always said that. I said it up to last night, that this thing is about an all of community approach, not an all of government. That is a misnomer. The government, yes, has to facilitate, but it's the community that will remain there and therefore have a sustainable path towards amelioration and, of course, reducing, if not eliminating, the social quagmire or issues, including crime, criminality, gang warfare, borderline issues that has been plaguing communities like these and, by extension, the national community and concern within the sphere of regional, hemispheric, and international cities or capitals. Because I've always said it. Before any American citizen comes here in Trinidad, British citizen, French citizen, Italian citizen, Canadian citizen, their country has something called an advisory that tells them, listen, don't go Trinidad. But if you have to go Trinidad, be careful, because there is violence, almost helter-skelter all over the place, but more importantly, and that is the part that I feel that I have an obligation and a fervor, a burning flame to eradicate, because I know that we can become the model community for Trinidad and Tobago, because in their advisories, no other community, they say don't go. If you had to go to Trinidad, don't go Nelson Street, don't go Laventille, don't go around the Savannah, don't go Belmont. Mention that. They didn't say don't go Diego Martin. They didn't say don't go Guayguayari, Rio Claro. They didn't say don't go Scarborough. Nelson Street. So we have a duty and responsibility as residents and committed community activists like this man who has taken his time off to be here tonight to address this particular problem. Understand what we are faced with. And therefore, nobody can tell me that we don't have a duty, or put another way, telling us that we're spinning top in mud. I cannot and refuse to accept that. Cannot and refuse to accept it. But let's go to the line. Pleasant good night. Welcome. Yes. Or put another way. Pleasant good night.
Hello, good night, Mr. Lennox and
Yes,
the brother. I know me call the voice, they are correcting him. Right. What a strong activist in the community. I know he's a man of the community.
The best.
And he keep fighting for the community. You keep fighting for the best.
Thank you very much for that, sir. Thank you very much for that. For safety precautions.
I know he's a man, he is a soldier. But Mr. Lennox and my brother, right? For 2010 to 2015, when the Honorable Kamala Special them was in government, and they built the 3-story school of Rosel, wow, should I vote on that? When they build the community center in the Bitam and the preschool down in the Bitam, they vote out that. For the last 9 years plus, the Piccadilly School, it down, St. Philip School, it down, and they controlled by the PNM. So I doesn't want to hear the PNM with the mama guy look short young. And I showed that candlelight vision right on by Upland Scotland office there. When 4 people there right in the constituency up we have Scotland, let me come out and give a speech. Small Penny come out and give a speech. You call it for Roger Alexander to go, and then to go. Something wrong with them PNM leaders and them. Them like to fool poor black African people in East-West corridor for the vote politically, and as they get a vote, they neglect them. I find the East-West corridor to be like skyscrapers, proper buildings, this, that thing. Because them never forsake the PNM, Lennox. Use a man concerned fighting for the people in the East-West corridor there to try to make a change. If they give one of your candidates or boxers who went up against Scotland there, if you get through that seat, Lavanti win, no? Anytime the ULC catch a seat in Lavanti there, boy, Lavanti will be so nice. The PNM can't win back there at all because they go see development, they go see progress, I think, going on in that community there. The PNM is to keep down poor black African people and mama guide them. When Scotland come for election time, they have to be like dogs with hamper and butter, bread, and the biggest thing again is that sack of flour and all that kind of thing. Heinz, we will trim all the politically, but all the, and Scotland, all the Heinz done gone already, but Scotland, them, that is the worst MP. When Marley McDonald, but she so rest in peace, she was still doing all that thing there, but she didn't do much. Look where Scotland going and do, and fully plan them down in my constituency, down in Silas down there. The fish market down there, you tell plan them, you go build over the fish market because you're going to come close to election. Then fall for that, you know. And go back and fall back Heinz, you know. So my brother, they just keep up the fight. I know the Honorable Prime Minister is listening. The community center is not for, it's for the children and them, the future of the nation. And too much of the children dying out. I say, I say to the family, for the little girl who passed away in the community there. Oh, God, brothers, all the killing children and all, boy. We are not respectful, boy. All the killing all the togglers, all the killing all, boy. All the done that nonsense now, man. So Lennox and your co-host there, all keep it up. Continue talking for things for your community, man. Somebody in authorities go hear you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Enjoy the rest of the night.
But I want to tell KFC, for the first time I've listened to him meticulously, every syllable, every word, every phrase, every clause, every sentence. And I want to tell you, go to the top of the class. Go to the top of the class. Because you have raised a very crucial issue that speaks to the salvation, going biblical, to the salvation of these communities. If the people had voted for the Love candidate, for example, I wouldn't be here saying, I call a minister and they have not responded. I wouldn't be here saying that, all right, after a year, I have give and take, and therefore I feel that it's time for me to act in a particular way because enough time has been expired. I wouldn't have to be in the awful position of saying, well, listen, hold on, because I am told to hold on. We would have been in a position similar to that of Point Fortin and that of Labre, who took the position and voted, of course, the PNM out. And as a consequence, they have a representative in the parliament where the air is rare and the touching and the interacting with the shakers and movers or the decision makers of the country that controls the treasury of the country and make decisions as to where resources should go. And I am on public record. If I get a chance, I empty the treasury in Laventille. I mean, if that should materialize, of course I have to be more pragmatic. But I am showing the extent to which there are people who are prepared to represent effectively. And more than that, it's not just talk, it's representation by action, as this program tonight would demonstrate. This ain't no government program, or sponsored by the government, This is a private enterprise. This is a community overture. This is a effort by the residents. Understand that. And if you had done your part out there, I ought not to be begging. I would have been demanding. And let me tell all this something just in case, if all you didn't know. All I wanted was the position. Even though it's my party that have one or two candidates in the parliament. So I myself decided, of course, I will contest, and I got the nod from you out there. Guess what? I only wanted the accolade. I only wanted the title parliamentary representative. You see, because I tested it already. I went up to Washington some time ago on the behest and the invitation of the American University, where I give one or two lectures. And it's Washington we're talking about, where the children of all of the senators and the congressmen and so on would be staying, living, because it's Washington, the capital of the United States. And I went to the American University, where these children of these shakers and movers in the United States, decision makers, live. And why is I going up there? If you hear me. Why is I on the plane? If you hear me. Boy, if I get a break, you see all them old buses and them, all them old cars, and them you see they have there in Trinidad, they go say, well, they could still use. And if I get somebody to send down all, I give every man a car who wants one, to make sure that they have, and they could pull bull, whatever it is. But of course, in 2 years, 3 years time, I want to see a new car. That's the kind of thinking I was thinking. Because I'm saying, what is rubbish for them is utility for us. Right? And that is how the first community-based computer literacy program became evident or manifested. Because I got the American University to give me all of their computers that they were replacing with new ones. I got a group in New York with Trinidad ties to pay for the shipment. And then, of course, when I came back, I had to do my part, establish the first computer literacy program in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, another first for these parts. When people were talking about the digital divide, and people were catching the ant and then, of course, to learn and to understand the computer. That's all around 1999, thereabout. Understand that? And that was just one. Before I come back, however, I got the university administration to agree. A particular faculty headed by Dr. Richard Bennett. I got him to have his students have a one-on-one with me. And we established a mentor program in which one student up there will adopt a student from my school. And you have that. The only problem, the only mistake I make, I left them to their own device, I said, because I didn't want I didn't want anybody to think, well, I'm taking money from them and bringing it for them and whatnot. So I said, listen, I'm going to put you all in contact with each other, and you all will, of course, make all the arrangements. So if an American student from the university want to visit, then of course they will make their private arrangement with the student from MLIU. I should not have done that. I should have created an administrative mechanism to control the whole process so that it could live on. Because once that started to happen, people then, of course, after that relationship would have severed, either the person graduate in the States or from MLIO, and that was it. And the whole thing raveled out of existence. So I just let you know the kind of thinking. In other words, I would have brought that kind of thinking to what? To the parliament and to the parliamentary representative here and wherever I would have been represented. In other words, I wasn't going to depend on the government per se, even though they couldn't talk to me as they're talking to me now. Right? So that is important. Inside of here, everything that you need. But I know you're there, my friend, and you may want to finish it off. Okay. All right. He has instructed me to finish off his pre-recording before he made his presentation tonight. And I think he did a wonderful job as well. I must commend him as well. So people are becoming conscious. But let's hear the rest of it. It's just about 2 minutes again.
Many more. There was an incident in Belmont. My condolences goes out to the family. We need to stop this stupidness. We need to focus on the youth and give back. As Mr. Alexander said, give back. We have prominent people here who are willing to come out and go the extra mile with the youth. So it can't be that the People's Partnership fix this place, and then one government come and it's you know, in Mr. Pasad Bisesa, it's like your children's hospital. I know that is your brainchild. I want to take time out to thank the Minister of Housing, Mr. Philip Alexander, for the quick response with the leaks that we had in the yard on Nelson Street side. And also, I would like to extend a courtesy call to Mr. Anil Roberts. We have another issue with the basketball court. I know he's a sportsman, and I will do another video and highlight it so that you can see for yourself. So Trinidad, people stay safe, be careful, love one another, and as I say, happy Mother's Day in advance to all the mothers. And you know, this is what we left with. We can't celebrate for nothing here. You know, so I'm hoping by Father's Day we could bring out the fathers, like how Mr. Alexander did for the St. Peter's home. So you all take care, you know, and that is as much as I could say.
Yes, indeed, magnificent, magnificent. Was it the first time you attempted a recording like that, or
Very first time, sir.
Well, you sung like a professional there, man.
So
and the recording and the video was clean.
so we were all young,
Yes.
and the love we have experienced in those days, it could still spread here. I don't need a Zozo to go on no platform to stand up for what we feel is right or I feel is right.
Wonderful.
Everybody
Well
should
said.
everybody should live in peace and love. That incident this morning was very unfortunate, and we can't continue that way. We cannot. So this is why I took it upon myself to make the video, to let Mr. Warner, Mr. Sandy, and Mr. Dukaran see what we come back to. The present leader of the COP, Mr. Prakash Ramada, Mr. the boxer.
Senate.
Mm-hmm. They were all here. We had all these discussions. A way forward. We're just looking for a way forward with community centers. A lot of potential. A lot of young, talented people out there. What about the preschool? We'd like to invite the Minister of Education. We have young mothers under it all. When I mean under it all. They have, you know, I watch a situation where a young lady would have met a young gentleman. They would have done their thing. Child on the way. The boy lose his life. the young lady just there, she in a state of despair. The child come, the grandmother had to take she little kakada and help out the situation. Sometimes the young lady mind so fragmented, you know. The child is just left there abandoned, and we could do things to assist these people in our community. It was functioning. The president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago was on George Street. So what a minister can come on George Street and see what is going on, how we just live out here? These nice people. Mr. Smith is in it all. We big you up, we hail you 100%. Since the elections, we sit down day in, day out. All the people that come to here who apply for food card, who apply for this, who want jobs, the jobs were snatched from them like a thief in the night. So, you know, I sympathize with them. I hope the Prime Minister put something in place for them, you know.
Yeah, well, I trust that
to these ministries.
Yeah, having regard, I mean, I'm using my own analysis here. Having regard to the fortunate situation that Trinidad and Tobago has found itself in as a consequence of geopolitical issues, the Middle East, of course, Ukraine, and of course the regularization or the return to normalcy almost of Venezuela, that Trinidad and Tobago is sitting in a good place to, of course, have an avalanche, have a windfall, which would reflect the ability to really provide employment opportunities that is sustainable, that is respectful, and that people can really, really earn a proper living in the Trinidad and Tobago, or make a proper living in Trinidad and Tobago. Go ahead.
Honorable Prime Minister, your party just celebrated 1 year in office. 1 year. And we know it's not easy. We strapped for cash. The Minister of Energy signing off on deals. The Ministry of Housing, billions of dollars into housing. Gas pipeline in Tobago. And all we just asking for is a little kakada to help these youths to fix the community center, to bring it back to some kind of respectability as it was. Pleading with the powers that be. So, again, Mr. Smith,
yes,
I thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
The pleasure was mine.
Given to me. And I apologize to your viewers for not revealing my identity, as I say, for safety precaution measures.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Given the nature of his job and et cetera, et cetera.
You know,
but the fact that you are able to still make that effort is better than most. Yeah. I want to tell you that, and I want to commend you for doing that, because I think 9 out of 10 persons in your situation would not have done what you have done.
Mr. Smith, Mr. Alexander, Philip Alexander sat here with us in your humble space here, where the Love Party functions.
Yes. Again,
I want to thank him for that swift intervention with the leaks that the residents experienced there the other day. That was a real pullout, sir. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Roberts, a pleasant good night to you, sir. Sir, I have another issue, another video I'd like to do that will engage the Ministry of Sports. So one step at a time, one step at a time.
Well, people, of course, we have come to the end. As I said, I have a copy of the Zoso bill with me, and as I said, if this was passed, then we would have been demanding rather than begging, because that is what it is. We are begging as a consequence of two things. One, you did not do your electoral responsibility in your own interest. I know that there are people who would have voted for the UNC, but this is a numbers game. And because there was not a sufficient number to pass the post, so to speak, so that my candidate could have been in the parliament instead, I have to make the statement because I am concerned. And the other one, of course, is the senators who, small in number, and just had to say yay to this particular document, and we would have been in a better place to demand from the government. I would have been in a better position, I'm sure, because I would have find myself on that community committee to upgrade across the board these communities that would have been declared ZOSO areas. Before I go, of course, I want to say that last night I told you, last night I told you about the fact that MLIO was a school, bona fide school, and I told you I will bring the documentation. Thank you very much, of course, for gracing us. Yes, he is leaving now because just as I have additional work to do, extracurricular activity, well, he has as well. So he has left. But I want to say to you that I told you before the week finishes, I will provide you with the proof of it. Well, I have it here with me. You see it on the back of me there. And you see, of course, this first letter is from the Ministry of Education, the Records Section, Department, the Ministry of Education, Alexandra Street, St. Clair, Port of Spain. That is when it was there. It's no longer there now. So that's a long time ago. And let me give you the date, the 23rd of November, 1990. So we were a school, MLIO became a school, a bona fide registered school with the Ministry of Education. According to this confirmation letter or letter of acknowledgement and confirmation on the 23rd of November, 1990. And it says, Mr. Lennox Smith, Mobile Lavatil Improvement Organization Trade Complex, MLIO. Fernandez Industrial Center, so we were there, as I told you yesterday. Eastern Main Road, Laventil, Trinidad. Dear sir, please be informed that the above teaching or improvement organization is hereby registered with the Ministry of Education on this day, the 23rd of November, 1990, and assigned the registration number, so take note of that, registration number 1132, or put another way, 1132. That is our registration number. All schools, all private schools in the country have a number, but ours is 1132. And of course, enclosed, please find a notice of registration. So there's a particular certificate that we got. Yours faithfully, on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education. So there's the proof. What we say we will do, we will do. And what we do is because we would have said it. We must, all of us must learn that our word is our bond. And of course, this is the certificate here that was sent. Of course, it says Ministry of Education and Culture at the time, notice of registration of a private school. And then, of course, it says your application for registration of the private school, Mobile Lavatil Improvement Organization Trade Complex, situated at Fernandez Industrial Center, Eastern Main Road, Laventil, Trinidad, has been approved. The registered number of the school is 1132. Date of registration, 23rd of the 11th month, 1990. The maximum number of pupils to be allowed on the roll for the existing accommodation and furniture is, well, they left out that part because we had over 200-300 of them at Fernandez compound. And of course, yours faithfully for the Minister of Education. So the Minister of Education at the time would have been responsible for the signing of this certificate certifying that MLIO Trade School is in fact a registered private school, just as Serval, yeah, and just as many of the other schools that provide privately education to the target group that it would be serving. All right? The other document, let me see. This is the same thing. This was when it was renewed. Same number 113. And I told you about there are two other things I did not bring. I told you about registered as a recognized NGO by the United Nations Development Program. I will bring that for you as well next week. And one or two other, should I say, documents to certify regulatory wise, including that from the Ministry of what? Of Finance. Remember I told you about being an NGO and subjected to the non-taxing when we import things, and in other areas as well. I'm going to bring that as well. So I want you to know, and I'm saying that vicariously to those in authority who believe that this thing is a fly-by-night business, and Lennox Smith and his team doesn't know what they're doing or what they're saying, and there are those notions. Remember I told you about last night about Father Harvey and the nonsense he tried to impose as if we didn't know what we are talking about, simply because there is a perception out there by those who might have been given authority, whether it be by way of ministries and within ministries, that somehow the people of Laventille and environs can't organize, can't be as smart as everybody else to set up business and to set up institutions to serve our people. I needed to do that, and I will continue to prove to you, because we have access to the technology, and I'm prepared, of course, to use the technology every night if necessary with my colleagues. We will be looking at the weekend as well. Even if I'm not there, at least, of course, they will be able to carry on in the vein of edifying, developing, motivating, and making people understand that their destiny relies on them. Their ability to improve relies on them. And as I said, the social problem and the economic problems and the educational problems and the sporting problems and the infrastructural problems in the community is an all-of-community approach for resolution on a sustainable basis. Let's go to the line. Final call. A pleasant good night. Welcome. Welcome. All right, seems as though we lost that one. So people, I think I have done what I promised to do, and now, of course, it must now be irrefutable. The veracity of what I would have said in the past has come to pass in terms of proof, and I trusted that we would have put all of that to rest. Of course, we have come to the end of the program. Don't forget, of course, tomorrow morning, the ground report, final day of the week for the ground report. Andy and myself, as we continue with these and other issues, to bring to the fore issues that affect the downtrodden, the dispossessed, the abused, and at the end of the day to identify clearly and without contradiction those who have done evil to us, those who have taken us for granted and exploited our goodwill and our magnanimity. Yeah, as the Prime Minister would have said, don't take my goodness for weakness. But don't take our goodness for weakness. We have people in the area that can rise to the highest level. And we are going to demand as citizens that we get our fair shake and our fair piece of the national cake or pie. Yes, indeed. So people, have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. And don't forget, of course, no program tomorrow. I will be taking my sabbatical, and of course will join you on Monday night. But over the weekend, Joshua and his team will be working to fine-tune his program that will start around 5:30 thereabout. What's that? Come. Gosh, boy. You wouldn't go and sleep. Yes, indeed. And let me make sure that you could be seen. Come on. All right. So, which is you want to say?
Good night, everybody.
That's it?
Yes, I hear everybody calling my name. So I just had to come.
All right. Okay. Are you excited about Monday and starting that program that you will be heading? Everybody saying that you bring the president wrong here, and people shocked and they never see that before and all of that. And I know that some people are so, I wouldn't say, let me say, they are so in disbelief that they don't want you to do anything again. They're so normally the response is going to be they so believe that it should be them, that if it wasn't them, then nobody else should do it. But because he has done it, I have done it. There are people who, of course, will not like you because you are so progressive and so community oriented in the interest of all. But Jesus Christ, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, yes indeed, and of course we cannot leave out that great American civil rights mover. I talk about Martin Luther King. Not that I feel that I am in that path, but what I know for sure is that the operation, the focus is of a similar nature, focusing on a particular problem and looking to solve it. So not that we are putting ourselves, or I'm putting myself in the boots or category of these iconic, very historical, great men. But the thing is that what they would have done, that is the same thing people like myself will have to do in order to solve the problem. Any parting words? You want to say good night and so on?
For Monday program, I was excited and scared at the same time.
Oh, yeah, excited and scared. He's excited and scared at the same time. Imagine that. But of course, he has done it before, so I know that he will do well. Let me leave him there, so we'll close off tonight's program together. You say, well, talk hurry up because I want to go. I had to do work in the morning. You know. Go ahead. Let me hear what you're saying.
Well, I only have one friend by the time coming, so.
No, there are several others that I even can communicate today. In fact, I've given them your ball, so that is to encourage them to come. We'll get another one for you. All right? So we have a good team that will be together on Monday. I'm doing my homework because I had to help out, otherwise I wouldn't be a good father. And that's all. Or an efficient father, I should say. People, of course, we have come to the end of tonight's program. Have a wonderful one. Bye-bye.
Oh, good we see happy times again. But it will. So the treasury broke and they say that recession jamming. So to foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talking nonsense. But the majority of we decide we're not going to run. Because now is the time to show we patriotism. For we country facing its darkest hour. So our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you always remember. We could make it if we try. Just a little harder. If we just get one more try, life could be much sweeter. guess what was the problem? Yes, we start making very positive moves to solve them. We fired the old set of managers we had working, and it's a new group we went and we bring in. And if the goods we require, them new managers not supplying. When election time come back wrong, it's new ones we bring in. But if it's one thing about my people, I could guarantee